To get things started tonight, let's take a look at some CSU men's hoops. Coming off a second-half revival against the Nevada Wolfpack, most were confident in the Rams to find similar success when they returned to Moby to take on a mediocre UNLV squad. But unfortunately for all of these CSU fans who weren't able to watch this one on Friday, that wasn't the case at all. With this team putting in one of the worst efforts I've seen out of them in a long time. But even though the green and gold were down 18 at the break, Moby still remained chaotic, knowing that this squad hasn't let any sort of deficit phase them at all throughout this season. So with that in mind, were they able to mount another rally? Well, let's just say, not exactly. Like I told you last week, the one spot to watch for on the Rebels roster has to be senior Bryce Hamilton. And well, on Friday night, the Hamilton happened once again. Number 13 has averaged 28 points over his last 3 games, with 2 of those surpassing 30. And in a hostile road environment down in Moby, it's clear that Hamilton's squad needed every last one of those baskets, especially with the Rebs missing their second most consistent shooter for a majority of the night. This man hit 5 of his 7 3-point attempts in the first half. 5 of 7. And thanks to this perfect combination of sloppy defense and some weak offense from the home team, the Runnin' Rebs were quite literally able to sprint away with this one in the second, with Hamilton leading the way by dropping a career-high 42 points over CSU's heads. And sure, while it might seem like I'm giving him a majority of the credit for this upset dub, other things were at play for the Rams too. Not only were they never able to stop the one guy they had to defend, but CSU came up short in every other category, getting beat up against the boards 36-27 and shown up in the paint 24-22. And it wasn't like the Rams should have had any issue with motivating themselves either, being ranked in the top 25 of the coaches poll entering this game with a solid chance to move back into the national conversation. And to pick apart this performance a little more, CSU even had some firepower returning, with John Tonje making his comeback from a slight tear in his meniscus come Friday night. All in all, doing the math with this combination, in my opinion, left the Rams with no excuse to come out and play like they did against such a manageable opponent. Another sold-out student section crowd at Moby Arena seemed to make no difference for those on the court, and the Rebels seemed unfazed with the madness, with the green and gold unable to feed off that contagious energy that those near the floor always bring. And with how lopsided this one was, the stands started to clear out at around the 8-minute mark in the second half, with CSU down 22 with less and less time left, ultimately taking the L in this one with a final score of 88-74, which could have been much worse. But even with this massive L, an opportunity for a much-needed bounce back was already on the Rams' horizon. And it's actually going on right now against a strong Wyoming program down in Laramie. Let's take a look at how things are going. Now, Rams, to be honest, coming into tip-off at around 6 o'clock, I wasn't exactly the most confident with this one. But at halftime, CSU is up 135-34, Tonje with 11 on 5, shooting 5 and 6, and Roddy with a solid 6 going into the second half. Please help me make sense of all of this, Cam.
For me, it was just how David Roddy was playing, right? And we saw it against San Diego State in that first game. They're able to blitz him on the post, and he has to make those quick decisions. While sometimes he's really good at making those quick decisions, against UNLV, he just wasn't doing it efficiently.
No, absolutely.
The offense was so stagnant for the CSU Rams, and if it wasn't for Isaiah Stevens, we would have lost this game by 40.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, Roddy is such a leader when it comes to that roster, no matter who's on the court. But when that man is not playing his best, it seems like nobody does.
Just a tough L for CSU to take, and it's going to affect them nationally as well.
Absolutely.